What is going on, y'all? Welcome back. Today we have my preseason top 25 rankings. We did my post-spring a couple videos ago. A few things have changed since then, a couple transfers coming in, But let's get started with 25 through 21. We're looking here: Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Arizona State, Oregon State, and then Arkansas. So I think Oklahoma, they'll do better than they did last year. Got a good quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, but the defense needs to see some huge jump from last year. It was horrible last year. Texas A&M, they'll have a bounce back year after that struggle. 2020, 2022, 5-7. Arizona State in the Pac-12, they really won the transfer portal this year. I don't know, they're in that top 10 range, I think, for the transfer portal. They might be a little bit, maybe 11, 12, or 13, but in the transfer portal, they did really well. And then Oregon State also, they did good in the portal. They got Clemson quarterback DJ Uyunglele. He was stuck in a not so awesome situation over at Clemson. Dabo Swinney's still stuck in about 2016, where he's got the best quarterback in the nation, but that's just not the case anymore. So he's trying to do way too much with DJ. And then Arkansas at 21. They got that Jefferson dude coming back. I mean, he's pretty good, in my opinion. He's a pretty good player. I think that Arkansas, they'll do probably better than they did last year. They might have one of those Arkansas type of moments though, where they get really good and they're like number 8. Same thing with Kentucky and Ole Miss, like number 8, number 7, and then they just fall off. That's just like a common theme for like those 3 type of teams, If you watch SEC and college football, you know what I'm talking about. But next up we have number 20 through 16, and you have Florida, Kansas State, Notre Dame, Texas, and then Ole Miss. And yes, you are looking at that correct. Horns down all the time, baby. I don't like Texas. I don't know anyone in this world who actually enjoys to watch Texas. But if you enjoy watching Texas, then guess you're mad right now, but that's really not my issue. You can probably go cry about that to your mom and dad, because only babies like Texas, because they're not good at football and they're not really good at anything. So they will have another mid-year Quinn Ewers, mid-player. But a lot of times people like to make excuses about Texas. But really, it's just that Ewers sucks. Sharknado, he's not all too awesome. But, I just don't think that Texas, I'm sure I'm lying about Texas at this point if I'm being real with y'all, but I don't think Texas is all that great. They never really have been all that great in my lifetime. Maybe that's why I'm not living up to the hype, because right as my lifetime started, they were getting on the downfall, But that's just me, a personal type of thing. I actually am not a huge fan of Texas. I think once they get rid of Quinn Ewers and they get what's his face, I'm losing his name now. Arch Manning. I think they'll be much better once they do that. But who really knows with Texas? Man, they say they're always back, but they haven't been back in years. Anyway, let's get back to it. Florida. I mean, they'll always be in that top 20 to top 5 range. Can't really deny it. The Gators, they're either great or they're mid. And I think this year they might be a great team. I don't like ever to call the Gators good or great, but I think this year they might get something going. Get the momentum up. But next up is Kansas State. They played great ball last year. They were losing a lot of people, but you know what? A lot of people are. And you saw with Georgia last year. Losing a lot of people really doesn't mean anything. In college football, so I mean, you can lose 100 people for your team, but it's just all about like how much work you put in, and I think they'll put that work in when you look at KSU. Next up on this list we have Notre Dame. I said it before, I'll say it again. They should never, ever, 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 ever be rated inside the top 10 or ever making the playoffs ever. Because when you have, they always have a mid performance. Notre Dame is really never good. People just think they're good, And they're just overrated every year. Typical from, the talking heads at ESPN. But, yeah. I have a bet with someone under 10 wins. And I'm still thinking it's going under, so. Next up, we got Ole Miss. They got to play LSU, Bama, and Georgia. That's just simple fact. When you lose 3 games, you're going to be at number 16, so. It sucks, but it's just reality. So, yeah. Not much else to say about that. Moving on, 15 through 11. At 15, we got UNC. Drake May is that dude, so they're there. Then you got Clemson at 14. Klubnik, haven't really seen a lot from him. But, you've seen a little, man. He lost to Tennessee by like 14. That wasn't awesome, but sometimes that happens. So, something different could happen this time, but me personally, I seriously doubt that. But who knows? Who knows with Clemson? They're so unpredictable sometimes. But next up on the list is Oregon. Bo Nix. He had a good year last year. Except for that Georgia game, he got pummeled, but every other game, I think he did pretty well. That I watched, at least. I didn't watch all the Oregon games once they got knocked out of the playoffs. I forget who it was they lost to. It might have been, who was it? Washington, I think it was. Once they lost to Washington, I pretty much quit watching their games. It was towards the end of the season now, so I pretty much quit watching. I watched a UNC game. He played alright in that one. But I think he'll have a breakout year in his final year of eligibility in college football. And he's lucky he doesn't have to play Georgia. It's the first year in his college career he doesn't play Georgia because he used to be at Auburn. I think he might have been on the Auburn team when they beat us in 2017. I know Jarrett Stidham was the starter, but he might have been on the team. He's never started in a game and beaten Georgia, so going strong on that. Next up, we got Florida State. I'm just not buying into the hype, if I'm being honest with y'all. It's the same thing every year. Same thing with them and Texas, too. It's just kind of like just talking about how they're always back. Same with Miami. Just a little spoiler alert, you won't see the U here on this list. They're going to be mid like always, but whatever. Next up, we got Penn State. Nick Singleton, great running back. Drew Aller, great quarterback. You know, they have a lot of great star-studded talent on that team. And I think that if they can figure something out how to beat Michigan and Ohio State, they're in the playoffs. Because that would be a big booster, especially for recruits for them too. I mean, people still want to go to Penn State, but that'll make it even more, like, make people even want to go even more, you know? But, who knows, man? Sometimes, you know, you gotta win those 2 games. It's hard for Penn State, I know. Some people might even say it's unfair, but it is what it is. They're doing away with divisions, I think, as well as the SEC. I think so. They should be a little better for them going forward into the next upcoming years. Next up, we have number 10 through 6. Yes, you see it right. Ohio State is at number 6 on my list. South Carolina's at 9. Utah at 10. It's Utah. They'll always be around that mark. They've been for years. Since, you know, I've been able to remember college football, they've always been around this number 10, number 12, number 15, number 8. Always around that range. South Carolina, they're going to have another big step. Rattler coming back. He'll have a good year. Beamer Ball is back. He'll win a championship as a coach. I don't know if it'll be at Carolina, but I know he'll win a Natty as a head coach. So Brian Kelly and LSU at 8. It was tough deciding Washington or LSU at 7 or 8 because Washington's got Penix, Roma Dunze. The defense is a little lacking for Washington, but they might have the best offense. They might have a Tennessee moment in them, like Tennessee did this year with the best offense, but we'll see. Number 6, Ohio State. Quarterback situation, not ideal. That's why they're at 6. Coaching situation, also not ideal. Ryan Day, he's a fraud. So, yeah. Number 5 is Tennessee. I know what they are. I'm going to read them off so I can make it a little more suspenseful. 5, Tennessee. Alright. 4, USC. And then the big 3, Georgia, Alabama, and Michigan. In which order did I put them? Well, you're about to see. There we go. Michigan, Bama, then Georgia. Dogs at 1. Unanimous, not close. I'm picking them to win it. As of July 2nd, I'm picking the Dogs to win the championship. And I haven't picked them these past 2 years. I've picked Bama in 2021 and then Bama again. So, kind of worries me, but we will see. USC at 5, Caleb Williams. I read it off wrong, actually. That is all my fault. Forgot. I switched those two at the last moment. Just because Tennessee, Heupel, I think he's a little bit of a better coach than Lincoln Riley. I know I'm making some hate for that, but that's just my personal opinion. Michigan, Harbaugh, J.J. McCarthy, Corum, Edwards. Bama, newest thing I'm worried about there is quarterback, but they'll figure it out. I mean, it's Nick Saban. Then Georgia, they're just awesome all around at this point. Not really much bad you can say about the Dogs. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. Hope y'all have a good one. I'm out, y'all. Stay blessed.